Back at Staples Center in Los Angeles, the Flames and the Kings. Let's check the starting goalies, brought to you by Intact Insurance Company. Proud to partner with the Calgary Flames. Jonas Hiller between the pipes for the Flames. Fifth start the last 6 games for Hiller. Stopped 30 of 32 in Vancouver in that overtime loss to the Canucks on Saturday. 9-8-3 all-time against LA. Jonathan Quick at the other end. 5 straight starts for him. 8 of 9. He's 9-5-2 all-time against the Flames, who won twice last season in LA. Brody has the puck, scored one of the late goals that helped the Flames to their wins against the Kings in this building a year ago. Camilleri and Brody both scored in the final 30 seconds in a pair of victories in this building. The Flames hope that's a good omen. They look to snap out of this losing skid. Loose puck near the line, knocked down by Jones, right to Doughty. Takes control, drops it off. Carried out to center ice by Muzzin. In over the line, Muzzin dropped past to Gaborik. That didn't work at the line, but he kept it onside to Carter out front with a shot. That goes wide as Giordano got out of the way. That top line out there for LA. Carter out there with Kopitar and Gaborik. 18 points in the last 2 games. Kopitar, the first star of the week in the NHL.
What chemistry they found. Only together 3 games now. Well, this is the 4th, but 3 before that.
Goodrow works the puck over the line. There's Granlund, who's centering this line with Juris out. Bouncing puck top of the crease, comes to Hiller, forced to the boards as he battles along the wall with Stoll. Out front to Goodrow. Shot by Granlund. He fell down. He put that wide of the goal. Puck comes around to Williams, who ran into a broken stick on the ice. Drops it back to Green. Across to Martinez. Alec Martinez, head up, works it out. Through center, dumps that in. Weidman back to it, hit by Brown. Weidman plays it up the boards to Raymond. Raymond out there with Colborne and Byron, who takes the pass. Byron into the zone. Top of the circle, out front to Raymond with a shot. Kick save quick. Rebound put wide by Weidman. Pass out front, never got through. Byron chopped it on goal. Bounces to Weidman with a shot. That's blocked by Brown. Puck to the line. To Foley, able to tip it out the center ice and relieve the pressure, and a good shift for the Calgary Flames. Puck played to the near side. McBain's there to fire it in. Took a hit from Boma. Battle on the far side. Bowling out there. Got past Pearson out to the neutral zone as the Kings settle things down near their own blue line. Bowling threw a hit on the far boards. Derek Englund gets control inside his own zone. Across to TJ Brody. Back to Englund on the other side. Bank pass to Boma late in the shift. Tipped it in. He's going to stay out there. Staging on the forecheck. Battle in the corner. Kings wind up with the puck, and out they come through center ice. This is Lewis carrying in down the wing. Trevor Lewis with a shot. Scores! Off the boards, off the post, and in the net. 1-0 Kings.
This continues to haunt the Calgary Flames. It's just too easy for Trevor Lewis to score this goal just right from a bad angle. Looks like a very harmless play. Diaz does a nice job keeping Lewis well to the outside. And that's just a puck that was just fluttering into the net. It was not deflected or anything, and Jonas Hiller just missed that one.
2:26 mark of the first. Lewis opens the scoring with his 6th goal of the season. Flames play it in, race for the puck, and this is going as an icing call as Muzzin gets there ahead of Jones. Let's check the keys to the game, brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting.
For the Calgary Flames, be prepared to battle. We haven't seen the forecheck yet by the Kings, but we certainly will. And for the LA Kings, remain focused. Lots of distractions during the holiday season, especially when you're at home, Rick.
Helps when you get the lead. The Kings up by 1 early. Brody gets the puck off the draw, circles the net. Off the boards and out. Bounced off a skate at center ice. Brody was knocked down, and a big hit thrown by Giordano on Clifford as he checks him with the shoulder. Clifford got a shot away. Richards gets the puck behind the net. Battle in the corner. Glenn crossover to it along the far boards to the blue line and got it out with help from David Jones. Through Doughty across to Muzzin. Flames changing. Muzzin back to Doughty. Doughty wheeling through center. Over the line with a pass. He'll pick it up on the other side. Don Cherry says he should have been the Lou Marsh winner as Canada's top athlete.
Well, he's certainly a fantastic defenseman. My favorite, in fact, in the league to watch.
Won a gold medal, won a Stanley Cup. Granlund dumps the puck in. Back to it is Matt Green. Gave it away. Throw it out front by Goodrow, but Granlund couldn't get a shot away as he was tied up, and it's a 3-on-2 for the Kings. Carter with Kopitar in front. Gaborik trailing pass never got there off a stick. And the puck goes out of play.
Rick, and the keys to the game we talked about, be ready to battle early. This is how the LA Kings play. King goes after Brody, big check, and then Giordano goes after Clifford right after that. That's competitive hockey. That's what it's going to be like all night here in the Staples Center.
You go after one of our guys?
Yep.
I'll go after one of yours. That's the Flames captain stepping up for his defensive partner as Giordano has the puck now. Misses Glencross with a pass. Gets past Doughty. And they're going to wave off icing. Jones onto it behind the net. Out front for Monahan. Pass off his skate. Winds up in the corner. Jones back onto it. Drops it off for Monahan. Now Glencross turning on the boards. Watched by Kopitar. Jones. Bumped by Doughty, who's able to tie him up. Monahan onto the puck. The Flames try and work the cycle here, but Gaborik's able to sweep it away. Back to the Flame zone as LA changes. It's past the 4-minute mark of the first period of play. TJ Brody back to it, slowly towards his own line. Pass deflects, but right to Monahan, who tips it in. Not deep. Played out by Stoll, back in by Monahan. Raymond has to tag up. Gives McNabb time to feed it across to the other side. Now Dustin Brown carries in. Now the wing. Brown with a shot. Blocked away by Hiller. Rebound back to the line. McBain looking for a lane. Doesn't have one. Instead gives the puck to Williams. Back to Brown. Knocked off his stick. Williams gets control again. Trying to work it out front. Justin Williams. McNabb at pinch. Thrown to the front of the goal. Kicked away by Hiller. They've been going wide anyway. Weidman over to it. Raymond took a bump at the line. Puck stayed onside. Slow, soft shot on goal. And Hiller with Brown bearing down, able to cover up for a whistle.
When you're playing against the top line of the Kings, you better be ready to back check. And here's Johnny Gaudreau doing just that. Kopitar, Carter, Gaborik over to Carter, and look at the desperation play by Johnny Gaudreau. Excellent effort coming back. Known obviously for his offensive abilities, but good effort there.
Stajan wins the draw. Puck in the corner. Diaz battling for it with Toffoli, who fell. Diaz lost his stick. Toffoli gets to the puck on the near side. Up the boards, back to the line. Shot by Martinez, and that goes off a Calgary stick and out of play. 14:52 left in the first period.
Well, we've started to see LA Kings hockey here, Rick. Last shift, down low, playing a heavy game. Kind of expected a little bit sooner than this. We're just over 5 minutes into the first period, but I'm sure the majority of the game we'll see that forecheck really prevalent for the LA Kings.
Kings had a 6-game winning streak early in the season and been fairly mediocre since then, but they have won a couple in a row, and you know this is a team that knows when they need to turn it on. And they're getting to that point now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Offside call on Calgary at the LA Blue Eye.
This period brought to you by the 2015 Toyota Corolla. It's Corolla like you've never seen it before.
All right, Kelly, let's take one more look at that goal that beat Jonas Hiller.
Just wasn't ready. This is just an easy shot from the wing. Lewis is only going for a rebound on that play. He knows that he's not going to score. I would expect that he knows he's not going to score, but much to everybody's surprise, that beats Hiller.
Kings onto the puck in the Calgary zone. Again, the top line out. Excuse me, no. The top line not out there. My mistake is the Flames able to get the puck out. Goodrow carries over the line. There's a pass. Russell right out front with a backhand shot. He put over top of the net. Chris Russell still looking for his first goal of the year. There's Hoodler with a pass out front for Granlund. Broken up. Muzzin got his stick in there. King takes control and wheels back the other way for the Kings. Bounces that on goal. Stick save for Hiller. Yuri Hoodler. Hard pass across to Goodrow. Flames changing, so Goodrow puts it in and heads to the bench. LA changes as well, and now that top line for the Kings comes onto the ice. 6 minutes gone in the first period. Anze Kopitar, lead pass up the right wing to Carter. Gaborik going to the goal. Carter tries a shot, and that goes off the stick of defenseman Mark Giordano and out of play.
Calgary Flames defensemen certainly have a green light to join the rush whenever they see fit, and Chris Russell does exactly that. Reads it perfectly. Great patience right there by Johnny Gaudreau to get it to Russell, and he just misses the net.
Lewis with the goal. It's 1-0 Kings leading Calgary. First period in LA.
is Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Flames player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Linda LaForest of Calgary could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet.
1-0 Kings leading, 13:47 left in the first period. Trevor Lewis with the goal. Jonas Hiller probably one he'd like to have back, but needs to settle in now if the Flames have a chance to come back and win this game. There's Lewis there, 6th of the year for him. That shot off the right side. Face off in the Calgary zone. Carter against Monahan. Monahan out there with David Jones and Curtis Glencross. Wins the face-off. Brody takes the puck behind his own net. Comes out the other side. Backhand pass. Misses Glencross. No icing. Doughty to it. Glencross hits him in the corner. Monahan out front for Jones. He can't get the shot away. Lost an edge and fell. Puck controlled by the Kings. Gaborik will work at the center for Kopitar. Lets it go through to Carter. That's poked away by Giordano. Doughty up the boards to Carter, who slaps the puck into the zone. Hiller has to wait for it. It got there. Hiller plays the puck to Brody. TJ Brody. Off the stick and out to Monahan, ahead to Glencross. Across Giordano with a shot. Nice save by Quick. Bouncing rebound. Swatted with a glove by Carter into the corner. And Kopitar's there to feed it across to Gaborik. Great chance there for the Flames captain to get Calgary on the board. Quick made a beautiful save.
2 of them now. He's only faced 2 shots with 2 difficult ones for Jonathan Quick.
Brody, quick pass. Here comes Bollig over the line. He's hit hard and knocked to the ice on a good check by Braden McNabb. Puck around, Bulmer races over to it. Lance Bulmer gets it in the corner, trying to get it out front. Brown able to block that pass. Back to McNabb, the Davidson, Saskatchewan native. Got it up the wing, and here's Williams over the line. Williams, cross-ice pass. Bounces to McBain with a shot. Deflected out front and out the other side. Never got on net. Bollig can't get there. Williams behind the net for Stoll. Englund steps in front of him. Stoll dropped his stick. Englund up the boards to Bollig, and he gets it to the line. Not out. Kept onside. There's a shot from the line that's stopped by Hiller. As Brown pulled the trigger, Hiller through traffic makes that save and hangs on for a face-off.
Curtis Glencross had a real impact his last shift. Good on the forecheck on Doughty. He's not fooled by that great skating defenseman. Takes away Doughty's opportunity right there. And then a terrific backhand pass right there to Giordano. That's to that excellent chance by Giordano. And then Trevor Lewis high in the slot. Long shot, lots of traffic. Jonas Hiller is able to track that one down and hang on for a face-off.
Granlund wins the face-off. Woodward hits Gaudreau over the line, waiting for Granlund to go to the goal. Gaudreau with the shot, stopped by Quick, lost the rebound, and poked it away, and it's picked up by King. And the puck comes outside to center ice. Flames speed it across, tipped to the blue line, intercepted by Martinez. Dropped it off to Matt Green, back to Alec Martinez. Head to Kyle Clifford, who carries in with a shot from well out. Missed the net.
Right there, Tiger.
Play kept in. Dwight King left it for Richards. Back to King in the corner. Watched by Russell. Clifford comes in to get the puck. Leaves it down low for Martinez. Ran into Weidman. What a physical first period.
Good read by Weidman.
First meeting of the season. 5 this year between these two teams. Flames changing. That gives Colborne room to work the puck into the right side. Trying to feather a pass through. Blocked. Pearson got it ahead. Toffoli brought it up. Fires it in. Hiller stops that. Behind the net. Leaves it for Brody. Around the other side for Raymond. Bumped along the boards. Raymond trying to get it into from his feet up to his stick. Didn't work. Now Lewis in there fighting for the puck. Pearson got it free with a shot. Steered away by Hiller. He redirects that puck into the corner. Giordano tied up by Lewis. Puck comes free behind the net. Toffoli trying to get out front. Poke check and a good play by Byron. And here goes Brody. Up the left wing for Raymond with that pass. Raymond back to Brody down low. Turns in the corner. Brody to the line for Monahan. Slap shot. Quick shot all the way. And he's able to hang on.
Cheering for any team that can give him a big payday. This is the Sports Select Legends free agent, a real ruthless such and such.
Get your game on with Tools.
Excellent pace to this game. Johnny Gaudreau, that's right up his alley. This Hoodler line with Granlund, just the chemistry between Hoodler and Gaudreau is special. There's a nice chance by Johnny Gaudreau.
Battle deep in the LA zone after that face-off. David Jones gets the puck. There's a chance on the Right side of Quick by Glenn Cross, whose shot is stopped, and Quick sprawls out on top of the rebound and forces another face-off in the Kings zone.
Good battle behind the net. David Jones moving his feet strong on the puck spots. Glenn Cross, and without hesitation, Glenn Cross puts it on net, but you can see how Jonathan Quick periscoped out and took away that angle.
Another face-off win for Monahan. Back to Russell at the line. Had to reset, and the shot was blocked, and that allows Brown to wheel through center with Williams over the blue line. Brown with a shot that deflected wide of the goal. Jared Stoll plays it to Brown in the corner. He's checked, and Russell winds up with the puck behind the net. Two Kings converge. He gets it free to Glenn Cross, who gave it away. Fed back out front for Williams. He couldn't get it, neither could Brown. Good play by Jones, who feathers a pass to Glenn Cross. Long shot in on goal. Quick makes the save, and the Flames start to change. Dustin Brown bumped at center ice. Derek Englund got in his way. That allows Bowling to take the puck away. Byron's pass, fanned on it, gave it away to Richards. Richards along the boards. That's broken up by Englund, who plays it out, but maybe too hard. And it is icing on Calgary.
A couple of bad passes by the Calgary Flames in their own zone, and that led to the confusion and then the icing, but pretty easy to regroup after that. Now you have a face-off in your own zone. You hope that your centerman, Matt Stajan, wins it.
Facing off against Mike Richards. Englund's got an issue with his skate that he's taken care of. Went over to the Calgary bench. Now back into the play for the face-off. Shots are 6 apiece. 1-0. LA leading on the goal by Lewis early in this game. There's Clifford trying to get to a loose puck. Stajan took it away. King will get control on the other side. Leaves it for Kyle Clifford. Battling in the corner with Stajan. Richards comes in. Winds up with a puck. Took a buck. King helps out. Clifford behind the net now. Back to King. Stajan on him. Englund comes in. Winds up with a puck. Derek Englund with his head up. Able to skate it to the line and feed it out to Bowman at center ice. Flames don't get it deep. Now Stajan taps the puck into the zone. And they're going to blow that dead at an offside call on Calgary. With 9:04 left, first period. LA won and the Flames no score. Staples Center in Los Angeles.
CP Goals for Kids is proudly sponsored by Canadian Pacific and its 2,700 railroaders based in Calgary. For every Flames goal this season, the Railway will donate $250 to Kidsport and the Flames Even Strength program. Keep scoring Flames and help CP build stronger kids and stronger communities.
1-0 LA leading Calgary. Good tempo to this game, Kelly.
Very good. And Calgary Flames are keeping pace. They're setting the pace, in fact, I'd say. The LA Kings, I wouldn't say they're certainly not the fastest team in the league, but that's not how they're designed, really.
They lean on you and
Yep.
seem to get better at doing that as the season goes on. Face off Monahan against Richards. Scramble draw, puck comes free to Muzzin. He'll try a shot, that goes right off of the stick of Jones, and here goes Monahan. John Monahan with speed carries in, long shot off a stick. Went off Doughty's stick and out of play for a whistle.
Jonathan Quick has been very good early here for the LA Kings. No surprise, really, the way that his career's gone the last 3, 4, 5 years. He's just been spectacular, and he's so athletic. Fun goalie to watch, so competitive as well. Big reason why, of course, LA Kings have won Stanley Cup twice in the last 3 years. The best number 32 ever to play for the LA Kings.
There's another guy who's pretty good. I think Quick is the taking away the bottom of the net. I'm not sure there's anybody better. I mean, you can make an argument he's one of the best goalies in the league, period, but that's his strength.
Yeah.
And we've got a penalty coming up. It'll be against the LA Kings, so the Flames down by 1 will get a power play with 8:36 to go. As headed off is Andrei Kopitar.
It was right behind the Flames net. Kopitar knew the moment that he had taken down Chris Russell that he's going to get called for a penalty. The stick in the feet, no question about that. He just quickly went to the penalty box, so the Calgary Flames get their first power play of the period.
13th in the league, 19.2%. Penalty killing for LA. They've given up 7 goals in the last 5 games. Power play brought to you by Peoples this season. Stay out of the penalty box. Find gifts Shillador like Arctic Brilliance, Canadian Diamonds, only at Peoples. Canada's Diamond Store, let love shine. Kings clear the puck right off the faceoff. Russell and Weidman will man the points on this power play. Raymond Jones and Monahan up front for Calgary as they work it in. Matt Green hard around. Trevor Lewis able to work it out. Waiting for support. Stoll joins him. Lewis shot. Kick saved by Hiller. Lewis gets the rebound. Circles the net. Taken down. No call. Play continues. Monahan. Right wing center. Cross to Raymond on the other side. Trying to get around Doughty. You won't let him. They go to the corner. Puck in skates. Comes free. And it's fired all the way down the ice by Tyler Toffoli. 1:09 left in the LA penalty to Kopitar.
So Toffoli and Pearson, two young players for the LA Kings, killing the penalty. They're known for their offensive abilities also.
Here's Goodrow. Speaking of known for offensive abilities. Now to Brody. Down the boards. Goodrow in tight corners. Check. Puck played off the wall. Not out. Good job by Hiller to keep it in across to Giordano with a shot. Never got a crew. Toffoli picks up the loose puck and cleared the center. TJ Brody. Johnny Goodrow. Goodrow lost the puck and it's cleared out into the LA bench. Face-off will stay in the King zone with 33 seconds left in the power play.
Trevor Lewis short-handed, nice move right there, but he doesn't get much of a shot right there in Hiller, but still, nonetheless, LA Kings attacking when they're short-handed. I like that aggressive kind of play. I've always loved the fact that when teams put out offensive-minded guys, now Trevor Lewis really isn't that kind of guy, but offensive players on the PK.
5 short-handed goals by the Kings this season. And a glove pass as Raymond batted that away, and it wound up on the stick of Giordano, so the faceoff will come outside the zone. 26 seconds left in Kopitar's penalty.
We talked about the pace, Rick, but I like how competitive both teams too. There's an edge to this game. We've already seen a number of hits and some slashes that both teams have gotten away with.
Little anger usually makes for a lot of fun.
Yep.
Brody back to the puck in his own zone. 13 minutes gone here in the first. Flames late in this power play. Monahan trying to work it in. Alec Martinez to it behind the net. And he got it off the glove of Giordano and out. King and Richards could be a 2-on-1. Dwight King turning and he fell down. Tied up by Monahan. Penalty's over. Kopitar's out of the box. Raymond brings the puck in his off wing. Stops. Feeds it to Brody trying to work his way through. Brody gets the puck down low. Onto the stick of Monahan. Sean Monahan back for Brody, and that's deflected out by Mike Richards. No shots on that power play for Calgary. Kings with a slight edge and shots on goal. 7-6. They're up 1-0. Bouncer at the LA line. Andrei Kopitar knocked it down, but good job there by Bowman to sweep it away from Kopitar.
I'd say Calgary, Rick, has had the more dangerous shots, though.
I would agree with that, but speaking of dangerous, the Kopitar line out there. And here they go. Kopitar's pass for Carter deflected in. Carter trying to chop it out front. Weidman broke up that chance. Played it up the boards. Boma's able to poke it out to the neutral zone. Braden McNabb there to drop it off. McNabb, a former Kootenay Ice in the Western League, gets it back up to Gaborik. Left wing center. Gaborik trying to feather one through to Carter. That didn't get there. Flipped out by Weidman and chopped in by Byron. Jarrett Stoll back to it. Took a hard hit down low from Byron, but got the puck up the boards, and Gaborik late in the shift leaves it there, and here goes Justin Williams. Carries in, but left the puck behind. Colborne clears. Approaching the final 5 minutes of the period. Doughty back to Muzzin. To Williams. Williams, long pass left wing for Brown, who tipped it in. Dustin Brown, checked by Derek Englund, who made a good play. And Byron brings the puck to center ice, gains the red line, and flips it off the glove of Doughty into the zone. Goodrow, the lone forechecker. Doughty played it behind his own net to his partner Muzzin in the other corner. Ahead to Brown. Gave it away to Goodrow, but he couldn't settle the puck down. It swept outside the zone. Mark Giordano. Ahead to Goodrow, tipped it in, quick shot of the goal. Leaves it behind the net for Green. Toffoli, pressured by Granlund. Makes a pass that's ultimately grabbed by Brown, but pressured by Hudler. He's forced to feed it back to Muzzin. Here's Toffoli. Speed down the wing. Toffoli with a shot, stopped by Hiller. Rebound goes behind the net. Toffoli took a bump on a hard check there by Glencross. Brody trying to fish the puck out. Glencross there as well. Brody winds up with it. Circles the net. Nice tip pass by Jones to Glencross. Poke check by Martinez. Back comes Pearson. Gets around Giordano. Pearson on the wing with a shot. That whistles high around the glass. Up into the netting. Yes, they're going to blow that down, and we'll take a break with 3:55 to go in the first period. Still Kings 1. Flames no score.
This period brought to you by the 2015 Toyota Corolla. It's Corolla like you've never seen it before.
Back at Staples Center in Los Angeles. Flames fans in attendance. Calgary down 1-0. Trevor Lewis with the only goal in this game so far. But it's been a very good first period for both teams. Good tempo. Bit of an edge to it too, Kelly, which is always entertaining.
Absolutely. One of the better starts, I'd say, we've seen recently for both teams, considering the pace and so on.
Lewis scoring at 2:26 and a sharp angle goal off the right wing. Doughty at the line. Works it down the boards. Drew Doughty chopped down by Jones. Penalty coming up to Calgary as Jones trips up Doughty. The Flames have had a power play. Now the Kings get one with 3:46 to go in the period.
Drew Doughty's so good at creating offense.
Calgary number 19, Mark
Loves to join the rush or get involved in the offensive zone. And here's an example of it right here. He tries to protect the puck. Jones gets his stick in there, and Doughty goes down. So Jones is going to go to the penalty box for 2 minutes or less.
LA Kings power play is 6 for 17 in their last 3 games. They have been rolling. And they go to work here, looking to build on a 1-0 lead. Muzzin gives the puck to Gaborik. Marian Gaborik back to Muzzin. Over to Doughty. Muzzin. Gaborik. Side of the goal to Carter. In tight with the shot. Hiller makes the save. Puck still loose. Hiller down. Finally able to cover up in the crease.
Just such smart players on the ice, Brick. Gaborik, so dangerous because of that wrister right there, but I just love the fact that Carter just sneaks off to the right of Hiller, makes himself available above the goal line. That keeps him dangerous. If he goes below the goal line, it's not a concern to the goaltender. So that was a smart play by Jeff Carter.
Kopitar, Carter, Gaborik up front, Muzzin and Doughty on the points. There's Doughty with the puck. Kopitar on the slot, back to Muzzin, over to Gaborik, hopped off the stick to the boards, pressure by Brody. Brody knocked it away, but not out. Muzzin kept it onside. Marian Gaborik resets. His pass deflected by Stajan, but it got through to Carter. Back to Gaborik, down low to Kopitar. Andrei Kopitar, watched by Brody, who converges on Kopitar. Kopitar still with the puck, fed it back to Muzzin. Hard pass across to Doughty. Drew Doughty works it down the boards. Doughty throwing it out front. That's deflected away, and a good play by the Flames. Penalty killers, and Stajan clears the zone. Halfway through this LA power play. 2:45 to go in the period. As Drew Doughty will wheel out of his zone. Second unit on. Although Kopitar and Gaborik stay out there. Doughty swings wide, bumped by Russell. Derek Englund in the corner. Checked by Kopitar, steals. Back to Doughty. Andrei Kopitar. Williams out front. Martinez sneaking in backdoor. Kopitar off the boards. Gives the puck to Justin Williams. Gaborik's in front of the goal. Shot stopped by Hiller. Rebound winds up in the corner. Williams leaves it there for Kopitar. Gaborik's out front. Passes there. Great save. Hiller. Score on the rebound. Marian Gaborik puts in his own rebound. It's 2-0 LA.
Andrei Kopitar just continues his strong play. Look at how he uses the body to strip Englund of the puck, keeps the puck alive, and then the Kings just get the puck down low. Justin Williams works extremely well with Kopitar. Then they win puck battles right there. Kopitar, beautiful saucer pass. What a save by Hiller, the first one. The rebound goes right back to Gaborik, and it's 2-0 LA Kings.
Marian Gaborik's 11th of the season. It is a power play goal. Flames down by 2. Here goes Dustin Brown. Pass blocked by Brody. Head back to the front of the goal, and Hiller covers up with Williams sniffing around for a loose puck. So Kopitar, who was out there for the entire power play, winds up with the assist on this great pass here.
What quick hands by Gaborik right there. I just love how he sets that target again. I'm big on that because that's really the key. Kopitar knows where to put the puck, and he has the ability to sauce it over there as opposed to guessing where Gaborik might want that pass. Terrific skill set by both of them.
Off the draw, King gets a shot away that never got through. Backhand on the rebound by Clifford. Stopped by Hillary. Stops the second chance, too. And covers up. We get a whistle with 1:41 to go.
From the faceoff, Mike Richards wins it. It goes back, and King just fires the puck quickly at the net. Great puck battle by Cal Clifford. Right now, the LA Kings just taking everything to the front of the net.
Shots were 6 apiece at one point. It's now 14-6 LA. Gowdy gave it away down low, fed out front. Colborne with a chance, and that shot blocked by Muzzin. Bouncing puck, Byron had it, and got a weak shot away. He was stick checked, didn't get much on it. Quick, seen enough. He covers up in the crease.
That's the way to answer back for the Calgary Flames. Take pucks to the net themselves. Right there, Raymond finds Colborne, but Muzzin just steps into it quickly. Puck's in the air. Byron spots it, but Jonathan Quick hangs on to it. No rebound. His career at home versus the Calgary Flames. Record not that great, but the other numbers are spectacular. Goals against, and of course, save percentage lights out in those departments.
And he's been sharp tonight so far. Been tested from point-blank range a couple of times. Here goes Pearson through the neutral zone. Brody won't let him get in. Puck winds up in the corner. Giordano's over there. Up the boards, and Hoodler clears. Matt Green to it. Pressured by Goodrow. Puts it ahead. Pearson will dump it in. Hiller out of the goal to stop it behind the net. Plays the puck to the captain, Giordano. Been the final minute of play in the first. Granlund steals the puck at center ice and brings it over the line. Took a big hit, but got the pass across to Giordano, who tried to fire it back to Hoodler. That goes off a stick and out of play. Marcus Granlund got a run over just inside the blue line, but he's okay, right back on his feet.
He's going to step up and try and make a play. Trevor Lewis just goes right into the same path as Granlund and explodes right into him. That's a good, clean check, though. Kind of got everybody's attention, didn't it? You could even hear the crowd roar with that one.
Face-off, LA zone. Stadron loses the draw to Stoll. And Williams brings the puck to the line, across to Stoll with a pass. He took a hit at the line from Weidman. Who stands up Stoll? Stadron to Russell. Back behind the net to Weidman. Half minute left in the first. Stadron takes the pass and finds Lance Boma at center ice with a shot that goes wide, bounces right back in front, and the shot by Russell, he fanned on it. Puck went wide of the goal. Fed back to the line, shot by Weidman, that goes just wide. Flames pressure to get on the board late in the period. Williams gave it away to Stadron. Back for Bollig, broken up by Williams, clears the zone. And this won't go far enough for icing, and that'll do it. Flames had some chances late. First period done. And Calgary down by a pair. A goal by Trevor Lewis, and then that power play goal by Gaborik. 2-0 Kings lead in LA. Back to Leah Hextall in the studio.
On behalf of everyone at Sportsnet, we wish you a safe and very happy holiday. And following Christmas and Boxing Day, Hockey Night in Canada comes your way, December 27th. The Flames and Oilers, the Albertan rivals, get together again, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. There's the captain of the Flames, Mark Giordano, and you wonder what he's doing for Christmas? Well, he and wife Lauren are inviting many members of the Flames. In fact, Gio told me this morning approximately 15 players and families will be at the Giordano household coming up on Christmas Day. Meantime, many of the Flames departing their team tonight to go to faraway places for their Christmas season before they come back and join the team Boxing Day prior to the game against the Oilers on the 27th. Set for period 2. Rick and Kelly, take it away.
Check the scoring summary brought to you by Peoples. Kelly.
Trevor Lewis started things for the LA Kings, 2:26 into the first, and then on the power play, Marian Gaborik converts to make it 2-0 LA Kings on that ever-dangerous LA Kings power play right now.
Lewis' 6th goal of the season. That ties a career high for him. Gaborik's on a 5-game goal streak now. He's got 7 in his last 5. Second period underway. Flames look for an early one here. Tipped up front, and that's just wide of the goal as Monahan got the redirect on that Brody shot, but it missed the net. Muzzin winds up with control, finds Carter. Out to Kopitar through center ice. There's Gaborik working the puck over the line and gave it away to Jones, but he can't clear. Doughty keeps it onside. Flames get it back. Good play there by Monahan. David Jones at the end of his shift dumps the puck in and turns to the bench. Colborne line out. Colborne throws a hit on Martinez, who clears. Stoll onto the puck. Fires it across to Brown with a shot. Kick save. Rebound chipped to the corner by Russell. Dustin Brown to it. His pass deflects. Flames bring it out. Byron to center ice. Following up is Weidman carrying in. Weidman long shot. Stopped by Quick. Rebound controlled by Martinez in the corner. Stoll will feed it up the wall and out to the neutral zone. Flames get it back. Joe Colborne picks it up off the boards. Turns to the backhand. Got the pass through to Weidman, knocked off his stick. Byron feeds it back to the line. That fails to connect with Colborne, and Weidman has to regroup in his own zone. Dennis Weidman back, now tied for defense goals from the defense in the NHL with 10 for first place. Back in come the Kings with a shot by Brown up high on Hiller. He's able to fight that one off. Goodrow gives the puck to Russell, ahead to Hudler, back to Weidman. Brent Burns now with 10 goals as well. Flames dump it in. Quick out of the goal, chips the puck up the boards. Toffoli ties up Goodrow enough to allow the puck to get to the line. Lewis brings it out for LA, and it's fired in. Pearson on the forecheck. Hiller onto the goal, gave it away down low, but Byron knocked it off the stick at Toffoli. Long enough to allow Hiller to get back. There's a chance out front for Pearson with a shot. Stopped by Hiller, hugs the post, makes the save, and Englund relieves the pressure and clears the zone. Goodrow to Granlund. Granlund, Goodrow. Goodrow doesn't shoot it. I thought about it, but Lewis able to pick his pocket. Trevor Lewis, right down the middle, carries in with a shot. Hiller save, and he smothers the rebound at the top of the crease.
LA Kings attacking the net, which they do often and well. Dustin Brown's going to get the first chance right here, up high. I think it goes off the stick of Dennis Weidman, and then Pearson comes around the corner, or from the net. Boy, he's a dangerous player. And then lastly, Trevor Lewis is feeling it tonight, so he gets a puck to the net. Jonas Hiller all over that one.
Shot by Martinez off the draw, never got through. Pearson, 11 goals this season. Clippers battling down low. So is King, who gets the puck, tries to cut out front, jams it on goal. Hiller smothers that on the side of the net, but it's knocked away from him. Into the other corner, Martinez took a big hit from Bowling in front of the Calgary bench. Shot by Richards, deflects into the corner. Clifford behind the net. Checked by Brody, and we've got a penalty coming up. It's going to be an elbowing call. Flames aren't happy about something. Mike Richards involved. Official step between them. Now Clifford is engaged with Brandon Bowling, and Lance Boma's going to the penalty box. So the Kings power play, which has been rolling, we got a second opportunity tonight.
Lance Boma's such an aggressive player and tries to change momentum with that aggressive play. On this one, he's called for 2 minutes or less on an elbowing penalty. I think it was right at the Kings bench. And so this puts that ever dangerous LA Kings penalty or power play, Rick, that you were talking about on the ice. Interesting how hot they are right now, but in the 12 games previous, only 5 power play goals in 12 games.
Yeah, and now this, including the one tonight, 7 goals in their last 18 power play opportunities. And they go to work here as Doughty brings the puck to the line, feeds it over to Gaborik. Now Carter in. Nice job there by Giordano to poke check Carter and clear the zone with help from Sean Monahan. Muzzin up to Carter. Kopitar right down the middle. Pass never got there. Blocked by Giordano. He gets the puck and makes another play to feed it ahead. And again, it's Monahan clearing it out to center ice. Good start to the penalty kill for Calgary. Carter takes the pass on his own line. Played it across, but has to regroup. Byron on to Carter, giving him trouble. Kopitar now. Across to Gaborik. Marian Gaborik flips it in. Then Carter races onto it. His pass deflects across to Martinez. Down low to Carter. Back to Martinez. Behind the net looking for Gaborik. He's checked by Giordano. Gaborik goes down. Kopitar comes in trying to fish out the puck. It's underneath Gaborik. Now Kopitar gets control. Drew Doughty. Slap shot. Hiller makes the save. Bounces into the corner. Granlund after it there. Turns, finds room, fires that down the ice. 40 seconds left in the penalty to Boma. Just past the 4-minute mark of the second period. Still 2-0 Kings. Both goals in the first. Here comes Williams. Second unit out there. Dustin Brown onto it. Back to Williams. Williams to the line. Martinez. Across. McBain. Williams. Slap pass down low. Brown out front. They score. Jamie McBain sneaking in back door makes it 3-0 LA.
This power play is just so dangerous for the LA Kings, and Martinez is such a good point player on this power play. Moves the puck around, he's going to get it back, and then Brown right there spots McBain coming in, sneaking in from the far side. Nobody can pick him up and threads that one through. Good pickup by LA Kings to get McBain. He played for Carolina for a while, in Buffalo. Now trying to make a home for himself here in LA.
Tried to make the Coyotes in a pro tryout this season. Didn't
Right.
make the team. He was teamless for a bit. Signed by LA and he's been playing well. Vergeer hurt, getting more ice time. Here comes Doughty ahead to Clifford. Flames down by 3 now. 2 power play goals for LA. King. Richards, wrist shot, blocked by Russell. Flames lead the league in block shots, and Russell leads the Flames. Here goes Goodrow through center ice into the zone. Johnny Goodrow threw a shot on goal. That deflects high. Quick may have got a piece of it. And back the other way comes Pearson, working on Englund. Pearson turns, gets the puck to Richards. Mike Richards back to Pearson at the line. Richards along the boards, throws it out front, hit a leg, bounces free, to Foley right in, Hiller makes the save. And he hangs on as Clifford does some jousting. Derek Englund comes in. Lewis is all tied up as well, but things calm down quickly. Another chance for LA, close to 4-0, but Hiller able to make the save.
They sense it, don't they, right now, the LA Kings? They're just taking everything to the net. They know at 3-0, they're going to be awfully difficult to beat, but 4+ is going to be next to impossible the way they're playing right now, and the way that Jonathan Quick is playing also. It's a really dangerous team, top to bottom.
Shots were 6 apiece midway through the first. Since then, the Flames have been outshot 17-2. As LA has turned it on, a couple of power play goals. Calgary needs to answer back in a big way here. Monahan on the forecheck. David Jones comes in to help out. Glencross in there as well. Here's Glencross in the circle with a shot. That's blocked by Martinez, deflected wide. Matt Green to it. He's checked. Jones got it back. One-timer. Glencross, good save by Quick, and he spots the rebound in the far corner. Number 2 it is Pearson. Green circles the net. Toffoli brings it out. Flips the puck in and heads to the bench. Derek Englund. Now staging. Out to Boma. Good to see the puck. It's in front of the penalty boxes. Bollig fires it in. There's McBain, who has the 3rd LA goal. Second of the year for him as he cleared the zone. Giordano took it away at his own line. Now the Flames get it in. Giordano trying to get after it, but it's cleared to the line and out by McBain. TJ Brody goes back. Mark Giordano takes the pass ahead to Bollig on the left side. Brandon Bollig with a shot. That misses. Gets past Carter and out. Brody to it. Back into his own end. Long lead pass. Misses everybody. Icing Calgary.
Canon's Best in Glass sale. Save big on cameras and lenses for a limited time only. Visit canon.ca/bestinglass today.
What a terrific coaching career by Daryl Sutter. I had him in San Jose. Rick, and you look at winning 100 games with 4 different teams. That's a remarkable accomplishment. 2 Stanley Cups, of course. Qualified for the playoffs in 13 of his 14 years.
It's an impressive resume for Daryl Sutter. And he's got a team you think is built for another long playoff run this year.
I would think so.
Williams over the line. Feeds it through the Stoll, trying to get a pass out front. That deflected behind the net. Williams to it. Conn Smythe winner. Mr. Game 7.
Is he ever?
14 career points in Game 7s in the playoff for Justin Williams.
No way to explain that.
Raymond fires the puck around. Cut off behind the net by Muzzin. Leaves the puck for Williams. Drew Doughty. Long lead pass. A little too far for Brown. Trying to catch up to it. Watched by Weidman. Brown turns. Dustin Brown. Pass deflects. Back to the line. Martinez quick shot. Knocked down in front by Diaz. Weidman took it away. Byron feeds the puck out to center for Colborne. That goes off his stick. Over the glass and out of play. As we approach the 8-minute mark of the second period, the Kings 3 and the Flames no score. Tell us, Flames hockey on Sportsnet. Nice contingent of Flames fans here in LA, hoping they can rally. They need Hiller to be lights out from now on. They're down 3-0. 12:04 left in the second period.
And try and find a way to beat Jonathan Quick, which is never easy in any building, but especially here at the Staples Center.
Well, we mentioned earlier the Flames did win both games in this building last year on last-minute goals. Byron trying to spring Monahan with a bit of room and a shot. He put that just wide. May have caught the shoulder of Quick and deflected over top of the net. That was headed for the top corner. Quick just got a piece of it. Clifford trying to clear. Can't do it. Monahan gets the puck to Russell with a shot. Toe save Quick. Rebound chopped to center ice by Matt Green. Dennis Weidman back to it to Chris Russell. Gave it away at center to Richards. Back in for the Kings. Richards with a shot. Blocked by Russell. And that hurt. Slow to get up. King trying to jam it out front. Put the puck to the crease. Hiller covers up long enough for a whistle as the Kings poke away, looking for a loose puck that never came. We're going to face off in the Calgary zone.
Chris Russell is so good at putting himself in the shooting lane, but we're going to see the Monahan, or here's the Richards play, but there's Russell. Boy, he sure sacrifices, doesn't he? Gets himself right in the shooting lane. Here's the Monahan chance. Take a look how far out Jonathan Quick is. That has to be a perfect shot. Russell does get a good chance here just after that play, and Jonathan Quick again, the top of the crease, made it actually look quite easy, and it wasn't an easy save.
Russell got hit just above the knee with that shot. Stays on the bench. Flames win the faceoff. Brody gets the puck. Off the boards with a pass to Jones. Tipped it through to Colborne. Never connected. Toffoli broke it up. Richards fires it in. Mark Giordano back to it. Colborne lead pass. Brody over the line. Glenn Cross with it. So is Jones. Jones out front. Pass deflected over top of the net. Foley clears. Tipped in by Pearson. Race for the puck. Brody speeds in to get there first. We saw that great skating ability of TJ Brody. Came out of nowhere.
Because Tanner Pearson's one of the best skaters in this game today.
Muzzin back. Long lead pass. Deflected in by Williams. Derek Englund goes to it. Kings finish off a change. Englund to Granlund. Back for Englund. McBain. Jamie McBain deep in the zone. Makes a play to Dustin Brown. Finds Williams. Brings it out with Stoll. 2-on-2 on Englund and Weidman. Williams. Puck lines up in the corner. Brown over to it. Bumped along the boards by Englund. Brown wins the battle. Works it back to the line. Drops it off to Justin Williams. Back to Brown. Brown got a weak shot away, but never got it through. Kicked away by Weidman. Right to Raymond, who retreats behind his own net inside the final 10 minutes of the second period. Turnover in the neutral zone. Back come the Kings. Brown onto the puck. Battling behind the net with Raymond. Weidman comes in, trying to help out. He's tied up. It's corralled in the corner and flipped to the line by Granlund, but kept in by Green. Over to Stoll. Now Brown back out front. That deflects to Raymond. Mason Raymond will skate the puck out. Gains the red line, plays it in, and heads to the bench in the change.
This is LA Kings hockey right now, isn't it? Now they're just going to wear you down, and hopefully the clock follows suit for them.
Matt Green picks that up off the boards. And that top line out there for LA. Anze Kopitar to Carter. Didn't work. Boma tipped it free. Knocked away from him by Carter. Hiller out of the goal. Gives the puck to Giordano. Bank pass to Boma. Stajan wanted it quicker. Now he gets the puck into the zone. Cross-ice pass. There's Brody. Slap pass. Got it back himself. Deflected wide of the goal. They jam at the side of the net. It winds up in the corner. Brody over to it. Back to the line. Worked across. Slap shot. Quick makes the save. And hangs on with traffic in front. Stajan pulled the trigger. Quick freezes the puck for a whistle with 8:35 to go. Second period. Still 3-0. Kings lead the Flames in LA.
We'd like to remind you that Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's game is Mott's Clamato. Also, KPMG is pleased to be aligned with Matt Stajan and Michael Backlund with their player matching programs. KPMG will donate $100 for each point Stajan and earn this season to the charity of the player's choice, with the Flames Foundation for Life matching these donations.
Thank you, Roger. 3-0 Kings lead the Flames. Monahan facing off against Richards. Winger win for Calgary. Byron's pushed to the boards, and the Kings take the puck away. Doughty behind his net up the near side to King, who clears the zone. Sean Monahan gets it back to Giordano. Flames captain brings it out of his own end. Mark Giordano fires it in. Byron on the forecheck. Winds up with the puck. Dropped it off. Monahan out there with Byron and Goodrow now as Bob Hartley mixes up his line combinations, trying to find something to get them on the board and cut into this lead.
They only have 12 shots in Calgary Flames, so I think it's a good choice by Bob Hartley.
Clifford into the zone for LA with a shot. That goes off. Brody sticking out of play.
Bob Hartley certainly doesn't mind switching the lines. We see it often with his squad. Good news also, Chris Russell is back on the ice now.
Took a shot off just above the knee earlier in this period. Battle at the side of the Calgary net. Weidman gets the puck, watched by Kopitar. Chris Russell now off the boards and out. Raymond's pass deflects to Gaborik. Now to Carter. Ran into Granlund. Granlund, Hoodler, Raymond out there together. Here's Raymond carrying down the wing with a shot off the foot of McBain to the other side. The Flames trying to get onto it. Hoodler couldn't take the puck off the boards, and the Kings will bring it out to center ice, led by Marian Gaborik. 5-game goal streak for him. He has one tonight, 7 his last 5. Raymond takes the puck away, and Granlund brings it out. Back to Raymond. Raymond down the wing. Ran into McNabb, who went down. The Flames start a change as McBain feeds it across to his partner. Braden McNabb blasts the puck into center. Hard around. Joe Colborne over to it. Trying to catch the Kings on a change. Got it ahead to Jones. He's knocked down along the boards by Green. Colborne comes in to help out. He's tied up in the corner. Glencross trying to cut out front. Ran into the defenseman Martinez. Toffoli flips it in for LA. Engelland back to it with Lewis on his tail. Trevor Lewis opened the scoring in the first 2.5 minutes of this game. Matt Green on the boards. Down low. Pearson back to the line to Lewis. Lewis with a wrister. And Jones got a stick in the way. The puck deflects out of play.
Well, the big three of the LA Kings are extremely hot right now. Rick, as you mentioned, 4 games now. They've been together. All of them lights out. Anze Kopitar, NHL Player of the Week. Marian Gaborik, streaky as always, scoring now in 5 straight, but this is an extremely dangerous line. I don't know how much longer they're going to be together. When you think, though, Carter, Gerald Sutter likes to play him at center on the second line or even on the right side on that second line. He works so well with Toffoli and Pearson also. So right now it's working, but I would suspect that just for more depth, they might move him back down.
This will be their second line now with Stoll, Brown, and Williams. Stoll in the middle. Flames dump it in. Muzzin back to it. Doughty, pressure by Bollig. Got the puck to Williams. Feeds it across. Stoll tipped to the line and out. Bollig couldn't keep it on side. Drops it off to Russell. Chris Russell to Lance Boma. Russell. Taking time in his own zone inside 6 minutes to go in the second period. Brandon Bollig down the wing with a long wrister. Kick save, big rebound. Russell chipped it back towards the goal. Quick down, able to cover up. Jonathan Quick had that one come off his pad and right to Chris Russell, but he's able to hang on for a face-off. It's still 3-0 Kings, 5:42 left in the second.
CarStar Collision and Glass is pleased to be partnering with TJ Brody. His Skate for Strides initiative, in which he created custom skate guards in support of cystic fibrosis. For every pair that is sold, TJ and the Flames Foundation for Life will donate and direct $30 to Cystic Fibrosis Canada. Purchase yours today through your local CarStar Collision Center or online by visiting flamesport.com.
TJ Brody and the Flames down 3-0, 5:42 left in the second period. Jonathan Quick spin sharp.
Kings forwards have done a nice job of eliminating the Calgary Flames defensemen from joining the rush as often as they'd normally like.
There's a shot by Giordano right off the draw that never got through. Bouncing puck, high slot, corralled by Dustin Brown, and the captain for the Kings got it out. Brody settles it down on his own blue line. Shots are 25-13 for LA. Flames dump it in. Doughty back to it. The boards for Williams. Watched by Byron. Williams fed it ahead, and Brown in the center, bumped by Giordano. Goodrow to it. Hit by Brown up high. Monahan check by Williams. Bodies and sticks flying everywhere. Monahan with a pass. Goodrow had lost his stick. That allows Richards to take the puck, and that's off a stick and out of play. It's a debris field down there.
Lots of debris too. Some of it left by a shot block from Dustin Brown just inside his own zone. He's going to go out to the point. There's the one-timer right there, and he's in good position. And his skate guard, there it is. The plastic covering on the boot. Big physical game too. There's a nice hit by Giordano also on Dustin Brown. I think Brown's played really well. You know, he has moments where sometimes he's not a top six forward, still a physical player and a great leader nonetheless, but tonight he's been excellent.
Kings win the draw. Dwight King fires the puck around the boards to the near side where McBain puts it back behind the net for Clifford. Clifford back to McBain for a one-timer that he puts wide. Richards trying to work it out front. Loose puck. Winds up on the stick of King. Granlund trying to check King, but he gets the puck to Richards. Mike Richards in tight quarters, twisting and turning on the boards. Fed it back to the line, tipped up by Hudler. McBain hustles back. Mentioned he went to Arizona on a pro tryout, didn't make it. Shot by Granlund out of play. McBain winds up in LA and has a goal in this game.
It's been good too. I know they're trying to find he and McNabb some ice time and try and get that chemistry to work as well. That top or bottom two pairing for the LA Kings. As you mentioned, Robin Regeer out of the lineup. They lost Willie Mitchell in the offseason. McNabb was always going to be a player, I was told last year, that was going to be on the big squad if he lived up to all the promises or all the expectation everybody had for him.
23-year-old Braden McNabb playing in his 71st National Hockey League game tonight. Joe Colborne at center, backhands it in. Goes through the final 4 minutes of the second. Glenn Cross trying to get there, can't do it. Carter up the boards, won't get it out. Kept in by Jones, but he gives it back to Carter. Lead pass, Gaborik able to kick it to his stick and dump it in. Hiller will stop that behind the net for Weidman. He leads the puck for Russell. Out to center ice, Jones gets control. Knocked down by Green, and Jeff Carter brings it back the other way. Drop pass to Kopitar. Trying to get it across, taken away as Stajan blocked the pass, and Muzzin recovers and then gave it back. Jones tipped it into Stajan. Stajan works it down low. Flames start a change. Pass out front for Bollig is intercepted by Kopitar. Andrei Kopitar ahead to Gaborik. Kopitar drilled by Bollig. Goes hard to the boards. No penalty on the play, but there will be a penalty to the Kings. Meantime, back comes Giordano with a shot. Put it wide. Kings retaliated after that hit by Bollig, and that's what drew the penalties to the Flames with the net empty. You have to be careful. I want to remind them of that after what happened in Vancouver on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Here comes Stajan, works the puck over the line. Extra skater out for Calgary. Jiri Hudler has to regroup with his own blue line. Final 3 minutes of the period. Here's Boma with room. Boma shoots, save quick. Rebound touched by the Kings. And the Flames get their second power play with 2:50 to go in the middle frame.
Andrei Kopitar is going off for a change. Made a good play right here just to chip the puck in, and then Bollig went after him. That's a clean hit. Did get Kopitar when he was a little bit vulnerable, though, but that led to this Giordano break. The Calgary Flames kept playing, and the LA Kings really stopped at that point, and then Boma with this excellent chance once again where Jonathan Quick is positioned. That's the key to making that save, and he gets help from his defenseman.
So Matt Green, after, well, it's not Green actually, he went to the box, but they're sending off Jeff Carter, I believe, instead. It is Jeff Carter, and it's a cross-checking call, and they went after Bollig after the hit on Kopitar, and the retaliation is what drew the penalties. Flames get the second power play, 0 for 1, didn't have a shot on their first chance. And a chance here with a late power play in the second for Calgary to chip away at this LA lead. Colborne, Gaudreau out there with Hudler up front, Russell and Weidman on the points, but the Kings won the draw and cleared off the glass all the way down the ice. Chris Russell goes back to the puck. And he'll work it towards his own blue line slowly. Russell drops it off. Johnny Gaudreau takes control, and he'll carry in. Set up on the left side, back to Russell. Russell, back to Gaudreau. Russell shot, never got it through. Stoles without a stick. Flames get it back. Colborne, Weidman. Colborne down low. Gaudreau out front, chipped it towards the goal. It trickles wide off a skate. Gaudreau got it back. Weidman at the line. Across to Russell. Russell to Weidman. Doesn't have a shot. Plays it to Russell instead. Nice pass to Gaudreau. Gaudreau, Russell, Weidman, slap shot block. Gaudreau scores on the rebound. Johnny Gaudreau with a power play goal. The Flames are on the board.
Some good puck movement by the Calgary Flames. Get a bit of a break on the block shot, but Jared Stoll, almost the entire penalty kill was without a stick. There's the block, and then the fortunate bounce off his Stoll right to Johnny Gaudreau. And without hesitation, take a look how quickly he fires that past Jonathan Quick. Colborne really effective using his big body in front of Jonathan Quick, trying to take away his vision. But Jared Stoll is caught out there the majority of the penalty kill without a stick.
So Gaudreau has goals in back-to-back games, picks up his 8th of the season. And that is a big one if the Flames have visions of mounting a comeback in the third period. Weidman and Russell get the helpers on Gaudreau's goal. Here comes Brody to center ice. Over to Jones, tipped it in. Took a bump from Doughty. Jones stays on the puck though, got it out front. Glenn Cross put a shot wide. That was a good chance. And a nice bit of work by David Jones as the puck deflects high in the air. Flames knock it down, but it's controlled by the Kings and carried out to center ice by Clifford. Dwight King with him as they bounce that in on Hiller. Scoops it up, takes a snow shower, but he hangs on. And we'll get a face-off in the Calgary zone. Next lucky winner in the score and win contest, courtesy of Safeway and Mott's Clamato, is Wendy Van Trite of Calgary, as one of Bradley, original electric smoker.
Pretty good chance also by Glenn Cross in that. Just really good energy after the goal by Johnny Gaudreau. David Jones moving his feet well. So the LA Kings now, they're on the defensive.
Gaudreau came into the game second rookie scoring, just 7 points behind Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators. Flames win the draw. Weidman has the puck off the boards with that clear out attempt, but it's kept onside. Weidman gets it back. Turns away from Kopitar. Okay, after that hit from Bollig. Kopitar is. Flames Work the puck to center. Pass for Bollig doesn't connect. Broken up at the line by McNabb. Weidman runs into Gaborik. Bollig caught offside. Has to tag up. Final minute of play in the second. Braden McNabb feeds it ahead to Kopitar. Up to Carter. Cross to Gaborik. Hopped over a stick. Picks it up off the boards. Gaborik gave it away. Bollig will bring it out. Three Flames to center. Brandon Bollig fires it around. Bulmer trying to get there. Battling with McNabb. Puck in the corner. Picked up down low by Goodrow just off the bench. Cuts behind the net. Trying to work it out front. Lost the puck. Now comes free side of the goal. They jam away. Quick down. Covers up. Bodies flying. We'll get a face-off in the LA zone with 28.4 seconds to go in the period.
Take another look at the Johnny Gaudreau goal. And Jared Stoll, so now it's instead of 5-on-4, basically it's 5-on-3, although Stoll does a nice job getting in the shooting lane and blocking that shot, but the puck goes directly to Gaudreau. You know, I've had this discussion with Mike Milbury before, Rick. I don't know what your thoughts are on it. He said, you know, if you're on the PK and you break your stick, sometimes aren't you just best to go get a stick? Because in this case, well, in a lot of cases, you don't really accomplish much. Now, I know Jared Stoll was able to get in the shooting lane on that one, but it's a real dilemma.
It's hard to do in the second period because of the long change. But
no
when in first and third, it is, I think,
no question.
It's a good argument.
And do we ever see that?
Once in a while. I know that.
Not very often,
I think Ken Hitchcock likes his guys to do that. Here comes Monahan over the line, drops it off, chance for Hoodler, and he put it just wide. That didn't miss by much. That goal's given the Flames some life here. Final 5 seconds of the period. One more chance out front. Brody couldn't get a shot away. Monahan plays the puck to the slot. Cleared away as the horn sounds. And a lively second period comes to an end with some more pushing and shoving. In a game that's had a bit of an edge. The middle frame ends with one, but cooler heads prevail as both teams head to the room. 3-1 Kings lead. Back to Leah Hextall in the studio.
Jonas Hiller and the Flames set to go out to the start of the third period here in Los Angeles. The Staples Center trying for the comeback and trailing 3-1 going into period 3. Well, last season, Ryan Van Asten was the strength and conditioning coach for the LA Kings, and they won a Stanley Cup. He moves to Calgary in the offseason. There's a look at his Stanley Cup ring presented earlier today before tonight's game. What a beauty that is, as the Kings won the Stanley Cup and presented him that honor earlier tonight. Well, speaking of tonight, it's time for our Calgary Sun rookie reporter. Josh Juris is being interviewed.
Hi, my name is Ryder Davis, today's Calgary Sun rookie reporter, here with Josh Juris. Who was the biggest influence on your hockey career?
I'm going to have to say my dad. You know, he was a hockey player growing up, so I was always around the rink with him and, really looked up to him, so I'm going to say my dad.
Cool. What was it like to score your first NHL goal?
It was pretty cool, buddy. It was definitely a dream, and it was too bad we couldn't get the win in that game, but, it's something every young hockey player grows up dreaming to do, so, it was pretty cool.
What is your favorite NHL arena outside of the city of Calgary?
NHL arena. Well, I haven't played in all of them yet, but I'd have to say the Bell Center in Montreal there. That was a pretty cool one. It's a loud building, loud fans, so it was awesome.
Who was your favorite hockey player growing up?
Steve Yzerman.
Cool. What is your favorite minor hockey memory?
Minor hockey memory. I don't know. I'm going to have to say the tournaments, going on the road with the boys and playing mini sticks in the hallways of the hotel.
This has been Ryder Davis reporting from the Scotiabank Saddledome as today's Calgary Sun rookie reporter.
Nice job. Good job, buddy.
Great job, Ryder. Let's check the second period scoring summary brought to you by Panago Pizza. Before, during, or after the game, get a fresh Panago. 2
power play goals in that second period. Jamie McBain puts the LA Kings up 3-0, and Johnny Gaudreau on the power play late in the second makes it 3-1 for the LA Kings.
So third period just underway. Kings dump the puck in. Top line out there for LA. Carter behind the net, cut off by Giordano. Gaborik gets to it near side. Got the puck to Kopitar, down low for Carter on the backhand. Stopped by Hiller. And he squeezes that puck for a face-off.
This line gets so many scoring chances because they're just so strong and they use their big bodies to retrieve pucks. Gaborik so smart also finding Kopitar, and then Jeff Carter always makes his stick available as a target. He spins around with that backhand, and Jonas Hiller in good position to make that save.
Kopitar wins the draw. Muzzin down the wing, tried a shot off the boards that was blocked by Brody. Monahan chips it ahead. Carter kept it onside. Now the Flames tap the puck to center. Andrei Kopitar onto it to Drew Doughty in his own zone, over to Muzzin. Head up for Muzzin. Long lead pass, tipped deep by Marian Gaborik. Brody gave it away out front. Here's a chance. Carter in deep with a shot. Brody made the save. Second shot. Hit traffic in front of the goal as Hiller scrambles back into the crease. Almost 4-1. After a giveaway, I think Brody got back in and made that stop, Kelly.
Did he ever? Kick save and a beauty.
Well, any hopes of a comeback would have likely disappeared had that gone in. So the Flames still in this game down by a pair. We've seen them do it before this year. Come back down 2 in the third.
Absolutely.
McBain back to a puck at his own line. Got it ahead. Now carried in by Brown on the left side. Just inside the line with a long shot. It was going wide, but it's scooped up by Hiller. And he hangs on.
Well, we were mistaken, Rick. It wasn't actually a kick save and a beauty. It's a post. So there's the turnover, and Jeff Carter waits and waits. And see, Brody put his skate up, but it didn't actually hit it. It looked from our angle that TJ Brody had actually made the save, but no, it's just off the post, and then a mad scramble after that. But no damage.
It's like when you're a passenger in a car and you're applying the brake, when something scary's happening.
Okay,
It's kind of the hockey equivalent there. I got to make the save, even though the puck goes off the outside of the net.
I got to be honest, I wouldn't have thought of that, but
Flames worked the puck in, but David Jones stepped in offside on the left wing, so we'll get a face-off outside the LA blue line.
David Jones has shown some real speed here tonight, and I asked him a few games ago about what he has to do to be effective, and he said, and these were his words, not mine. So he said, I have to be skating or I'm actually pretty lousy. So there, he just laid it out for us. But boy, he's a big body and uses it well, and when he's skating, he is an effective player.
Battle for the puck just outside the LA line. Matt Green winds up with control over to Martinez. Alec Martinez. Fed it up the right side. Toffoli plays it in deep. Lewis, who opened the scoring, is knocked down in the corner by Derek Glencross. And he puts the puck off the boards and out to center. Put back in by Matt Green. Kings tag up and more than happy to keep the puck in the Calgary zone with his 2-goal lead early in the third.
I think we'll see a lot of that play from this point forward by the LA Kings defenseman.
Martinez. A couple of big goals in the playoffs last year, including the clinching goal in overtime in Game 5 against the Rangers. Rafa Diaz, long lead pass to Boba, who tips it deep. McBain going back to it. Wires the puck back up the other side. Right to Dwight King, makes a nice pass. Carried in by Richards. Back for King with a shot, partially fanned on because he broke his stick, and it bounces right to Jonas Hiller, who covers up. So Alec Martinez, Kelly, with the overtime winner right here to clinch the Stanley Cup in Game 5. And as you'd expect, a little excited. So there they are, around the trophy. Now, there's a regional cover of Sports Illustrated magazine that has Martinez scoring the goal, and he wanted to get some of these to give to friends and family. He searched high and low. He finally found 32 copies of the magazine at a Ralph's, and he bought them all.
That's a good story. Now, if you're not familiar with Southern California, Ralph's is
grocery
a
store.
Grocery store, exactly.
He says, I felt like such a loser walking up to the counter with all these things.
Well, he can afford it now, too. All those copies. He signed a contract extension with the LA Kings recently.
Puck in the corner. Battle down low. Goodrow gets it back to the line. Flames looking to pull within one. Here's Chris Russell looking for his first goal of the season with a shot. Knocked down by Quick. And he covers up the loose puck on the side of the goal.
Chris Russell skates so well, and he gets around Dwight King because of that right here. Now, King does a pretty good job, though, of keeping him to the outside. Russell can't get much closer to Jonathan Quick and throws the puck on net, but Boy, when Chris Russell recognizes that he's out against a third or fourth line player, he certainly knows when to take advantage of that.
Mason Raymond onto the puck off the draw. Knocked down by Matt Green, who pushed him over. Puck comes to Kopitar. He's able to kick it to the neutral zone, but the Flames get it right back. And then it's stolen right back by Kopitar. He's poke checked. Gaborik follows up and brings it in with Carter. Granlund's dropped the stick. He's able to pick it up. Carter gets the puck out front. Kopitar checked by Brody. Jeff Carter back to the point for Matt Green with a long wrist shot. Blocked by Brody. Bouncing puck. Carter got it out front. Broken up by Giordano. He feeds it ahead, and out come the Flames, led by Raymond through center. Chips and chases. Green gets to it first. Raymond fights to get it back. Granlund onto it on the other side. Gives the puck to Raymond down low. Yuri Hudler behind the net. Hudler battling with Carter. Cuts out front. Hudler turns. Can't pull the trigger. Knocked off a stick by Carter. And out comes Andrzej Kopitar late in the shift. Plays it in, then heads off on a change. Just past the 4-minute mark of the third. Chris Russell fires the puck in. Glencross after it. McNabb plays it to the other corner to Williams. Back from McBain over to his partner McNabb. Kings break out. Dustin Brown brings it over the line. Tries a shot. Steered aside. Joe Colborne in the corner. Behind the net to Russell. Stoll onto him. Weidman takes the pass and clears the zone to center. Dustin Brown will work it back in. Took a hit from Bollig. He's been physical tonight.
See ever.
Clears the zone. Stajan trying to one-hand the puck into the LA zone. Gets the puck to Bollig with a shot off the crossbar. And that goes high over the netting. And out of play. Brandon Bollig that close to his first goal as a Calgary Flame.
Nice play by Matt Stajan at the LA Kings blue line, though. Senses that Bollig's going to come right up through the middle, and there it is. Nice little chip pass. Bollig, what a snapshot right there. You can see again how far Jonathan Quick is out, but that shot has to be perfect. The size of Jonathan Quick, just a fraction of an inch from hitting the post and into the net, as opposed to out.
Off the drop, puck behind the net, Matt Green to it. Kings work it out. Lewis over the line, swings wide, turns in the corner. Diaz watching Lewis. Gives the puck to Pearson down low. Toffoli's out front. Pearson tried to pass. That was blocked. Toffoli gets it in the corner. Works it up the boards back to Martinez. Hard across to Green. Green wrister, put it wide. Bowman takes a bump. Puck taken away by Pearson. Cuts behind the goal. Got it out front. Shot into traffic. Hit Toffoli who'd fallen. Pinballs around. Hiller's down. And it's cleared to the corner. Martinez to Toffoli. Back to the line of Pearson. Across to Doughty just off the bench. Drew Doughty with a wrist shot. That deflects wide. Kings push back, but the puck bounces outside the zone out of the corner. Well, he has to regroup. Doughty still up on the play. Works it in over the line. Drew Doughty waiting. Back to the line. Shot by Muzzin wide of the goal. Toffoli can't corral the rebound off the end boards. Taken away by Giordano. Giordano with a lead pass. Brought in by Hudler. Hudler across to Goodrow. He has one. Tried a shot. That's blocked by Muzzin. Felt it. Goodrow got it back with a shot. Quick makes the save. And covers up for a whistle. 13:42 left in the third. Still 3-1 Kings. Tell us Flames hockey on Sportsnet.
Shop at Safeway today. Watch future Sportsnet telecasts, and you can win an all-inclusive trip for two to a Grand Bahia Principe resort, courtesy of redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. Shop at Safeway today. You could be our next lucky winner.
Flames still down 3-1 here in LA in the third. They've had some pushback. They've had some chances. None better than Brandon Bollig ringing one off the crossbar.
And Johnny Gaudreau also dancing around in the offensive zone. Ever so dangerous.
Has the Calgary goal tonight. Gaudreau does. He's out there now for the face-off. Kings win it, though. Muzzin behind his own net. Checked by Hudler, who steals the puck in the corner. Hudler battling with Muzzin. Monahan comes in to help. Puck comes around to Williams on the other side. And Kings should be able to bring it out and do as Doughty leads the rush. Drew Doughty plays it around near side. Dustin Brown to it. Brown's pass intercepted. Goodrow clears out to Monahan, who leads the puck Now it's fed ahead to Hudler. Back from Woodrow, didn't connect. And Hudler got rocked by Muzzin after he made that pass, but pops right back up again. TJ Brodie to it. Giordano almost lost it, but regains control. Mark Giordano off the stick of Byron. Taken away and fed across by Gaborik. Now it's brought through center by Martinez, who plays it wide. Kopitar onto it. Russell watching him. Brodie coughed it up in the circle to Gaborik with a shot. That deflected off traffic, and the puck goes out of play.
Introducing the new BF Goodrich KO2 tire. BF Goodrich. Take control.
Lots of hitting started in the first period, and it continues to go here in this third period. That was Jake Muzzin on Yuri Hudler. Hudler is quick to get up, though, but this has been a really physical affair.
Both ways, both teams, fun to watch, but the Flames still down by 2. Long shot from the point, blocked by Chris Russell, who heads right up the ice with the puck himself, across to Byron, and he's rocked on the play. McNabb got Byron just inside the line. Raymond to the puck in the corner. Mason Raymond behind the net for Granlund. Now to Byron. Byron leans on Kopitar. Marcus Granlund gets the puck. He's tied up. Raymond trying to feed it back to Wideman, who fires it across to Russell. Russell with room and a shot. That hit traffic in front, and they went off McNabb. And Carter with a lead pass to Gaborik down the wing. Gaborik with a wrister, put it wide, looking stick side on Hiller, but missed the net. Mason Raymond brings it out of his own zone. Now it's picked up and carried through center by Colborne. Colborne over the line, left the puck behind, checked by Muzzin. Richards into the neutral zone. Over the line, Mike Richards with a wrist shot pad save, and the rebound's corralled by Wideman. Englund hustles to it. Up the boards, off the stick of Jones. He'll try and get after it. Possible 2-on-1, but Muzzin got to the puck first. 11.5 minutes to go in the third. Mike Richards cleared the zone. Blank cross at center. Jones still caught deep. He was all tied up with Muzzin, so Colborne has to wait. As a result, gave it away to Clifford. Clifford gets the return pass. He's hit by Colborne as he dumps the puck in. Rafa Diaz to it. Up to Colborne. Backhand pass to center ice to Bollig. Brandon Bollig dumps it in and gives chase. Matt Green back. Bollig hits him. Green plays the puck ahead, and the Kings clear the zone. TJ Brodie. Bollig tipped it ahead to stage it. Matt Green intercepts that pass. Clears it off the glass and out. Not much complicated about his game, but he put it a little too hard, and that goes all the way down the ice and an icing call.
Boy, the hits just don't stop. This time it's Braden McNabb right inside the Kings zone, right there. Right on Paul Byron. That is a big hit. Byron gets up afterwards and goes right back at McNabb, but this LA Kings team, they are physical. And you take a look at how many hits the Toronto Maple Leafs are leading the league coming into this game. The LA Kings not far behind.
Braden McNabb, 6'4", 208. Used all of that on that hit on Byron. Kings dump the puck in. Hiller leaves it for Wideman behind the net. The Flames aren't backing down from the physical play, though.
Nope. Nor are they going away in this third again.
Here's Johnny Gaudreau with speed over the line. Gaudreau feathers a pass through. Thrown out front by Monahan, just out of the reach of Hudler. Williams, long lead pass for Brown. No icing on the play. Brown must have touched it. He's hit by Russell in the corner. Dustin Brown works it up the boards. Gives the puck to Justin Williams. Turns. Williams to Doughty. Shot by Doughty. Ricochets back to the near corner where Chris Russell gains control for Calgary. Lays it across. Wideman out to center for Hudler. Hudler flips it across for Raymond. Muzzin checks him and chops it away. Brodie back in his own zone. Past the midway mark of the third period. Raymond over the line. Byron after it, bumping with Doughty. Raymond comes in to help out. Puck comes back to Brodie at the point with a shot. That bounces just wide. Winds up behind the net. Byron plays the puck to Granlund. Kopitar on Granlund. Byron comes in to help out. Gets it to Raymond. Raymond skates it back to the line and then gave it away along the boards to Doughty, and he'll clear. Byron takes another big hit. He and Doughty going at it behind the play. They're separated. Still talking to each other. Paul Byron might not be big, but he's not backing down.
Seen that so many times this year. Having 5'7" he's listed, but he doesn't back down from anybody.
Braden McNabb out of his own zone. Gains the red line. He took a bump but got the puck in. Kings are changing. Derek Englund to it. 8:49 and counting left in the third. Flames still down by 2 as Englund waits behind his own net. Off the boards, lead pass to Glenn Cross. Nice play to Colborne. Chopped away, but he got it back in the corner. Joe Colborne passes back. Here's Diaz with a shot into traffic. Never got through. Loose puck. And it's back to the boards and cleared by Clifford. Put it all the way down the ice. And this is an icing call, the Kings.
Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
Feisty third period here by Paul Byron. He goes after Doughty. Doughty doesn't like it, so he goes right back at him, but there's no backing down from Paul Byron. Calgary Flames have, I think, stood up pretty well to the big burly LA Kings.
They've done that. Now they've got to figure out Jonathan Quick.
That's right.
They're going to battle back in this game. Shots 30-17 in favor of the Kings. Late power play goal for Calgary. Second period. And here's Goodrow. Lost an edge. Puck still loose. Richards clears. The goal seemed to give Calgary some life, but it's carried over into the third. Sean Monahan gave it away at the line. Wideman. Russell. Back to Dennis Wideman. Ahead for Goodrow, tipped it in. Clear pass, Wideman down the ice. We're going to wave off icing, didn't go far enough. Russell goes to it. Pearson watching him, but he turns away from the oncoming LA forward. He clears the zone. Swatted ahead by the Kings. And that will draw a whistle and a face-off in LA's end when we come back. 7:34 to go in the third. It's still Kings 3 and the Flames 1. The game review is brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
Trevor Lewis scored 2:26 in the first period on only the second shot by the LA Kings. Marian Gaborik continues his hot scoring streak, and Johnny Gaudreau scored late in the second period on the power play for the Calgary Flames.
All right, Jonathan Quick, Kelly, set an LA Kings record with his 9th career assist earlier this month, and it came on this goal right here. I don't know if you know the guy who held the record prior to that.
No, I kind of have
number 32 as well.
Sneaky suspicion, yeah.
You had 8 assists in your career.
But you know, well,
how many of them were giving the puck to Gretzky behind the net?
No, you know what you don't know about that? They were all in one game. I had 8 assists in one game. We won 8-0. I had 43 saves, first star.
We'll get into that more.
You're not buying it?
Yeah, I was going to say 43 saves. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, 7 minutes to go in the third. Flames still down 3-1. Alec Martinez out to center ice, flips it in. Giordano knocked it down, trying to spring Hudler, but it hopped away from him. Martinez back to it. Justin Brown gave it away, slap shot, Wideman. Hudler with a chance. Quick makes the save, and he's able to hang on.
Dustin Brown's disappointed in himself. He shook his head after Jonathan Quick made a couple of saves. He gets a puck in good position right here and just blindly up through the middle, right onto the stick of Dennis Wideman. He gets a great chance, and then there's a rebound right in front, and again, just perfect positioning by Jonathan Quick. Top of the crease, nothing available, low to the ice, as you mentioned a couple of times, Rick. He takes away the lower part of the net so well.
Forces you to try and go upstairs. He's so good down low.
Yeah.
Another big save for Quick. 18th of the night for him. Still lots of time left, though. Flames down by 2. Russell behind his own net. Feeds it ahead to Hudler. Yuri Hudler. Johnny Gaudreau. He has goals in back-to-back games. Leaves the puck for Monahan. Monahan shot deflects. Goes to the other side. Russell to Monahan. Poked away, and a good play by Jake Muzzin. Muzzin up to Kopitar for Gaborik. Muzzin joins the rush. Gaborik in deep. Muzzin retreats. Carrying Gaborik. To Anze Kopitar. Back up front for Carter with a shot. He whistled that just wide. Puck around the boards. Goodrow trying to get there. Out of gas late in the shift. Paul Byron follows up to poke it in as Goodrow turns to the bench. Here's Giordano. Poke check by Kopitar. Brody has to regroup in his own zone. Lead pass to Granlund. Just over the line. Taken away by McNabb. Braden McNabb gave it back to Granlund. Trying to play it out front. Blocked by Richards. Battle in the corner with Raymond. Play behind the net. Giordano pinches. With a bump from King. Giordano played it back to Byron. Slap shot deflected. Rebound. Stop. Still loose. And Quick able to squeeze the legs behind him and frees the puck at the top of the crease. That close to being a one-goal game. Somehow it stayed out. 5:16 to go in the third period. Glorious chance for Calgary. And Quick able to freeze the puck. Still 3-1 LA.
Jonathan Quick gets some help from his teammates on this mad scramble in front. The rebound's going to go to his left. Mason Raymond is there all alone. He puts it, looks like it's going right into the net, and McBain makes a terrific play. But from this angle, I think this might show that it's actually going wide. Hard to tell on that, but I did see another angle. And then puck went right between Jonathan Quick's legs, and he just closed him, and that was the end of the play.
So the Flames still down by 2, approaching the final 5 minutes of the third period. Goodrow steals the puck, flipped it out front, but it deflects away, and here come the Kings, led by King. Dwight King with Richards going to the goal. There's the pass, and it goes wide. Never got the redirect on net. Hoodler picks up the puck. Brody up on the play. So is Giordano. Back for Brody. Checked by King, who comes back hard and takes the puck. Put it off the glass and out of play. Faceoff will stay in the LA zone with 4:43 to go.
Jonathan Quick has only faced 20 shots, but many of them have been dangerous. And take a look at his numbers on the year. Awfully impressive. Virtually in every category, those are winning numbers, and no wonder he's such an important part of the LA Kings. And once again, Rick, I can only say the best number 32 to ever wear the jersey.
I still want to hear about your 8-point night again. For that story, you and Sam Gagne.
Oh, my nose is growing just a little bit.
Alec Martinez to Brown. He took a bump. Weidman falls awkwardly into the boards, but gets back up again. Flames pushing back hard, but still down by 2. Joe Colborne back in his own zone. Gives the puck to Chris Russell. Weidman. Lead pass left wing. Colborne with a bit of room. Works it in with a shot off the stick of the defenseman Green. And puck goes over the glass into the netting for a whistle.
You know, this LA Kings team, they are so structured and so good, but whenever they have breakdowns, this guy's right there all the time, and such a nice job. What a focused athlete. You talk to his teammates, and they talk about not only his focus, but his conditioning, and works extremely hard in the gym. There's his partner, Martin Jones. I've asked him before what's he learned about goaltending from Quick, and it's about preparation.
Martin Jones, former Calgary Hitman.
Yep.
Quick, not only the all-time leading scoring goaltender in the LA Kings history, but he's also leading in wins, which is probably the more important stat.
Is this the segment where you rub it all in?
Here's Williams stealing a puck, trying to get right in with a shot. He put it wide. Goodrow lost his stick, but he's able to get it back. As the puck comes outside the zone, Muzzin plays it back in again for LA. 3:45 and counting left in the third period. Monahan fires that on Quick. Plays the puck into the corner. Through Doughty. Pearson near boards. Takes his time and feeds to Lewis. Out to Doughty, who leads the rush over the line. Doughty with a wrist shot. That goes off Russell. Never got through to Hiller. Marcus Granlund deep in his own end. Dennis Weidman takes the puck on the boards. Kings won't let him out. In fact, they steal it back. Pearson. Doing a good job here. Back to the line. Martinez. Down low for Kopitar. On Jay Kopitar. Off the stick of Weidman. Puck goes out of play.
We talked about the top line of the LA Kings and the success, but this lineup is just so deep. You talked about the Conn Smythe winner last year in the playoffs. What a smart play right there. He doesn't get fooled by the tricky Johnny Gaudreau. Gets a good chance right there. Such a great read right there by Williams, and you can see the determination. Just fires it wide.
25 points in 26 playoff games last year for Justin Williams. And here's a chance for Carter off the draw with a wrister that whistles high. Kopitar down low. Got it out front. Gaborik with a shot. Hiller makes the save. And he hangs on with 2:45 to go in the third.
Good shift right here, right off the face-off. Carter, excellent chance. Screen by Giordano. Hiller couldn't see that, but they're relentless right there. The three of them work so well. Kopitar finds Gaborik in the high slot. What I think Kopitar must like about those two players is that they put themselves in good scoring position, and their stick, nice target.
Puck kept in by Gaborik on a good play. Finds Carter, but he coughed it up and then kept it in. Gaborik low man in as the Kings finish off a change. Brody goes to it in the corner. Calgary having trouble the last couple of shifts getting out of their own end. Now they do. Hiller's going to the bench for the extra attacker. 6 skaters out for Calgary. Gaudreau behind the goal. Cuts out front. Gaudreau scores! Johnny Gaudreau is second of the game, and he cuts the lead to 1. What a goal for the rookie!
Mark Giordano joins the rush again. No surprise, Calgary defenseman. Then he gets puck deep right there to Monahan, and he just throws it down low. Gaudreau uses that great speed. He comes out. Jonathan Quick, you can see him periscoping out, but he can't. I think this goes 5-hole. Jonathan Quick can't keep it closed, and we're just saying how he does such a great job of taking away the lower part of the net, but look how far out Gaudreau goes. And that's why he's able to have the patience to get it past Jonathan Quick.
All right, still over 2 minutes to go in the third. The Flames have cut the lead to 1. Gaudreau with both goals. Now Green at the line. Hiller's back in the net. Granlund gets it down low. Off the boards to Raymond. Raymond flips it back, but too far for Russell. He clears the zone. Granlund gets the puck and plays it across. Carried in by Raymond. Again, Hiller goes to the bench. Raymond turns on the far boards. Flips it down low. Green tied up by Granlund. 2 Flames converge and try to help out. Glencross winds up with the puck for Calgary. Curtis Glencross. Granlund tried to tip it out front for Byron. Pass never got there. Byron back to Granlund. Now Glencross. Up front! Betting on the shot was Raymond off the heel of his stick. Weidman trying to keep it in. Got some help. Puck played to the corner. Stoll gets back to it. Flames making a change. That allows Green to clear the zone. What a chance for Raymond, but he misfired. Here goes Hudler. Yuri Hudler, quick up. Gaudreau for the hat trick. Threw it up front, scores! Johnny Gaudreau, first career hat trick, and he's tied the game at 3. Wow!
What a transition game by the Calgary Flames. There's that chemistry again between Hudler and Gaudreau. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. I'm pretty excited here, as you can tell. What a pass right there, and then off of the stick or the skate of Drew Doughty. Nothing that Jonathan Quick can do on this play right here. He's trying to throw it back out in front to his trailing player, and he gets a bit of a lucky break, and here's the pesky Calgary Flames.
They've done it again.
I couldn't talk there. I got so excited.
Oh, man. How about Gaudreau? Flames down 3-0. He scores all 3 goals, and the Flames are 58 seconds away from forcing this game to overtime. 2 with the net empty. Calgary ices the puck. So it wasn't a classic hat-trick goal. He had to bank it in off Doughty's skate, but give Johnny Gaudreau credit.
I love looking in the eyes of players after they do something special. Is that focus and intensity or what? imagine what goes on in the mind of a guy when you score a hat trick in this sort of fashion.
Face-off win for the Kings. Pass back to the point. Here's Doughty turning with a shot, bouncing around. Hiller's down. Puck goes wide of the goal. Back out front. They chop away, and Hiller's able to cover up. Wild scramble in front of the Calgary net, and Jonas Hiller calmly hangs on to that puck. Debbie Haley of Calgary shopped at Safeway, and on behalf of Safeway and Mach Clamato, Debbie, you won a Hoover Air cordless vacuum cleaner.
Drew Doughty from the point sneaks in. The puck's bouncing like crazy. Now it's going to come back out front, and then Kopitar quickly spins. What a save by Hiller. His best, of course, in the evening.
Face-off win for the Kings. Muzzin with a shot. Tipped on goal. Hiller makes the save. Here's Carter. That shot blocked by Brody. Brody in the corner. 22 seconds to go. Puck goes behind the net. It's picked up by Sean Monahan. Monahan heads out of the zone. Sean Monahan to center. Cuts wide and fires the puck in. Quick behind the net. Leaves the puck for Muzzin. Muzzin to Kopitar. Kopitar out to Carter. Long shot in wide. Bounces back to the line to Hoodler. He clears the zone. That'll do it. We're headed to overtime. From 3-0 late in the second period to 3-3 through regulation. And the Flames get at least a point out of this one. Now they want 2.
Just continues to get better.
All right, once again, congratulations, Debbie Haley from Calgary, who shopped at Safeway and has won the Hoover Air Cordless Vacuum, courtesy of Safeway and Mach Clamato.
Boy, what a night for Johnny Gaudreau, doing everything here for the Calgary Flames. Once again, that line just connecting. Let's take a look at his night. Here are the goals. Jarrett Stoll at the block, right onto the stick of Gaudreau. No hesitation whatever. Showing his quickness here, coming from behind the net, beating Jonathan Quick. And then gets a lucky break on this one right here. He's going to throw it back out front. And it's Drew Doughty in the skate and in the net. First career NHL hat trick.
What a night for Johnny Gaudreau.
What a night for the Calgary Flames again in the third period.
So they were down 2-0 against Vancouver on Saturday.
Right.
And one of those 2 goals could have been a real spirit breaker the way it
Absolutely.
happened. They come back, get the single point out of that game. They're down 3-0 in LA against the defending Stanley Cup champions.
Again,
and they fought back to
goal,
force this game to overtime.
Late power play goal in the second gave them life. They had a little bit of energy after that. And then they carried that over here into the third period.
2 goals with the goalie pulled, although Hiller wasn't out of the net very long when they scored both times. Gaudreau at the 17:48 mark, and then 19:01. On top of the power play goal, he scored at the 18:02 mark of the second period. And we have 5 minutes of 4-on-4. And the Flames lead the league in 4-on-4 goals this season with 7. Monahan wins the face-off, and Giordano has the puck in his own zone. Drops it off for Sean Monahan. Monahan to Giordano over the line. Giordano long shot on Quick. He gloves that and hangs on.
Well, Wayne Gretzky, my former teammate, was on Hockey Night in Canada, did a nice interview with George Stroumboulopoulos, and George at that time asked Wayne about Andrei Kopitar, and he said, well, he believes he's the 3rd best player in the game behind Sidney Crosby, Jonathan Toews. So what elite company to be in. And he is spectacular. When you see him live, not only his offensive work, but how great he is defensively. What a special player.
And he's been the best over the last week to 10 days. There's a turnover in the LA zone, but the Flames hand it back, and here goes Gaborik to center ice. Marian Gaborik with Kopitar and Martinez. Kopitar cuts to the slot. Forced back to the line. Turns along the boards. Brody chips it away. Monahan should have time to get it out and does. Flips it to center. Brody gets away. Brody down low. Got the pass out front, but it's off the stick. Martinez did a good job to recover. Here's Brown with room. Dustin Brown shoots. Stopped by Hiller. Russell gets the rebound. Chris Russell ahead to Brody with speed. 3 Flames over the line, but they go offside. Hoodler couldn't hold up. Stepped in early on the right wing, and the whistle blows.
I think you have to love 4-on-4 hockey. Now here Brody jumps into the play. He recognizes there's an opportunity, gets past Carter, Good defensive play right there to break it up, and then Kopitar bounce pass right onto the stick of Brown, and he gets an excellent chance. I like the positioning of Hiller on that one too, taking away that opportunity.
3:56 left in overtime. Hoodler tried to push it through on the draw. Muzzin took it away, gave it to Doughty. Muzzin behind the net to Doughty. Ahead to Stoll. Aaron Stoll plays it deep. Hiller on the goal, put it to the corner. Stoll picked it off. Missed. Williams behind the net. Muzzin gets to it with a shot off the boards that bounces. I think Hiller may have gotten a piece of it. It winds up in behind the goal. Williams works it back towards the blue line. On the backhand. And he's forced outside the zone. As the Kings have to regroup. All the way back in their own end. Doughty will turn up ice. Drew Doughty. Ahead to Muzzin. Drops it off to Justin Williams with a wrister. Steered aside. Blocker save by Hiller. Puck's played to the line. Doughty kept it onside. Dumps it deep. Hiller let it go. Weidman to it in the corner. Leaves it down low for Colborne, and he's got a bit of time as the Kings start to change. Colborne gives the puck to Russell. Back for Colborne. You can hear him tapping his stick at center ice. Over the line. Drop pass to Raymond. Raymond, wrist shot. Put it wide. Trying to go short side on Quick. Flames changing just off the bench as Brody, who gets the puck across to his partner, Giordano. Mark Giordano with his head up. Finds Raymond on the far side. Hopped away from him. Brody able to recover. TJ Brody drops it off to Giordano. 2.5 minutes to go in overtime. Brody at the line. Nice pass. Monahan carries in with a wrist shot. Stopped by Quick. Rebound swatted outside the zone. Mark Giordano gets it back. Ahead to Monahan, who tips it deep. Kopitar's back on the ice. In the corner, deep in his own zone. Plays it around the boards. Given away to Weidman on the far side, but he's pushed off the puck by Martinez as Andrei Kopitar recovers. Alec Martinez, Dustin Brown. Brown with speed. Brown carries in on his off wing. Works it down low on the backhand. In behind the net. Dustin Brown out the other side. Turns to the forehand. Brown still with the puck. Cuts back behind the goal again. Gives the puck to Kopitar. Andrei Kopitar. Muzzin out front. Now Doughty at the line. Spin around by Doughty. Monahan watching him. Doughty. Muzzin. Shot. Put it wide. Puck onto the corner. Bounces near boards. And the Flames chip it outside the zone. Racing onto it is Monahan. Monahan by himself with a shot. Quick save. Rebound corralled by Kopitar. What an overtime. Minute 20 left in it. Doughty checked at center. Flames with a possible 2-on-0. Hoodler with Goodrow. Goodrow stopped by Quick, who's able to freeze the puck. This Goodrow with a chance for his 4th goal of the game is stoned by Jonathan Quick.
Amazing action right here. Just terrific plays. Monahan gets a couple of great chances. Jonathan Quick, and then Hoodler and Goodrow get a 2-on-0 right here. And what a stretch save by Jonathan Quick. Unbelievable action.
Timeout called by Calgary. I believe it's the Flames using their timeout, but that puck, I think, got under Quick, and it was his arm that stopped it. And what a finish to the game that would have been for Johnny Goodrow. If that had been a goal, are you kidding me?
What tempo in this overtime. LA Kings generated a couple of scoring chances, different fashion, mind you. They just sort of cycled the puck down low, but Johnny Goodrow, Sean Monahan had 3 good chances in overtime already. Should make mention too, TJ Brody made a really smart play when the Calgary Flames were changing, and instead of touching the puck when the puck was near the boards, he just skated a while. Here's one more look at it, the chance, and there's the reach. It does hit the pad of Quick, but I think it's sliding back also. Tries to go 5-hole on Quick.
Wow. Playback underway, approaching the final minute of overtime. TJ Brody drops it off for Giordano. Giordano down the wing. Giordano trying to get out front. Giordano to the goal, scores! Mark Giordano completes the comeback. The captain puts it home. Jonathan Quick snaps his goal stick and flings the handle up into the netting. What a comeback for the Calgary Flames. down 3-0 against the defending Stanley Cup champions, and they win it in overtime.
Well, they should savor this one. This is a very rare kind of win here in Los Angeles. Unbelievable effort from the Calgary Flames in the third period and in particular in overtime. Giordano, as he does so well, takes a puck to the net, and he doesn't stop right there. He's able to cut through the crease. The defenseman does not cut off that lane, and then Jonathan Quick can't contain or control that shot between his legs. There it is. The happy bench boss. What a win. Jonathan Quick, of course, he's frustrated. Wow.
Well, we've seen a lot of amazing things out of this team this year, Kelly. This one might be at the top of the list.
I would agree with that.
That was something. Beverly Adams of Calgary entered Score and Win and has won a Garmin VIRB Elite HD action camera courtesy of Safeway and Mott's Clamato. Just an incredible show of resiliency. When it looked like the Flames were down and out and about to lose their 9th in a row, they had other ideas and win it in overtime.
TELUS Flames Hockey. Brought to you by TELUS, the future is friendly.
3 stars brought to you by Peoples. And Kelly, not much doubt about the first star tonight.
No, Johnny Gaudreau, wow, what an unbelievable effort. Jonas Hiller at 31 saves, rebounding after that shaky start. Mark Giordano, of course, scoring the overtime winner for the Calgary Flames.
I thought we'd seen it all this year with the comebacks, Kelly, but this one...
Well, I think everybody's stunned.
One for the ages, down 3-0. They get a goal with under 2 minutes to go on the power play in the second to get on the board, and then 2 more by Gaudreau in the third with the goalie pulled, and then there's Johnny Gaudreau with his first career hat trick, and then Mark Giordano, the captain, scoring the winner in overtime. An amazing rally by the Flames as they knock off the Kings by a score of 4-3. Merry Christmas from Los Angeles.